18 former Department of Justice attorneys filed a brief in federal court arguing the Trump administration has no legal authority to demand access to Illinois' unredacted voter registration database. Capital News Illinois reports Illinois is among 29 states and Washington, D.C. that are being sued for access to sensitive voter information. Judges in 3 states have sided against DOJ. The database includes information such as name, address, date of birth, driver's license number, and a partial Social Security number on every registered voter in the state. The Department of Justice says it needs the information to determine whether states are maintaining accurate and up-to-date voter registration rules. But the former DOJ attorneys who filed the brief say the federal government has no legal authority to force states to hand over that information.